Hello, and welcome to the Eagle Force special. I am going to bring in my co-host,
Hello.
Bob, and
Hey.
we are going to have a conversation about Eagle Force and some of our favorite figures.
Boy.
I would like to say that I think it's a pretty good line, probably the best. I would say, probably in your opinion, it's
Definitely. The best, especially, I would say probably the best domestic line in the 4-inch scale. Because arguments could be made for some of that other stuff from overseas, but
yes, yeah, I like Acid Rain, but this is definitely a little bit more friendlier to the wallets for sure.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I am going to see. Let me hear. Everyone, please excuse the slowness that I am trying to get this figured out all on, first time live streamer and all. Yes. Let's see here. Let me click on some buttons and see if things are happening. Okay. All right. So I think, yeah, maybe we're good. All right.
I think we're live.
We are live. I just want to make sure. Yeah, well.
Or are we Memorex?
Hold on a second. We are, let me see here. Let me see. I'm not live on YouTube, so let me tell you what. I don't know why it's not going live. I don't know. I'll tell you what.
Maybe we're getting comments.
We're getting comments. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out what is going on.
Let's see.
Okay, hold on. Let me get something figured out.
No problem.
It's definitely technical difficulties, part one. Let's see.
No problem. These things happen.
Yes. All right. Let's see if I can get this figured out. It says that I'm live, but I don't think I am. But let me see. Hold on. Let's see.
Let me check with the chat and see if they're.
Yeah, let me do one thing right quick. Let's see. Let's sign in.
Fat Mac saying he can see and hear us.
Oh, he can?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let me close out all this
Nebula
stuff.
can see us.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yes. Good times. Okay. So people can see us.
We are live.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what was going on, but I guess we're live. We're going live. Volume 2.0, I guess. So anyway, this is our Eagle Force live special. I feel like that we are going to talk about some of our favorite figures today. And Bob is probably the person that got me into Eagle Force. He had your figures on Instagram, and so post what you had. I'm like, man, that's a cool way to display your figures. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Well,
and
thank you.
That sort of got me into looking at Eagle Force and all that. And anyway, I trying to get it together, guys. I'm going to get it together at some point in time. So yeah, I'm going to get to the comments and all that. But yeah, so you had your Eagle Force that you put on Instagram, and that's what I kind of saw, and that kind of got me into wanting to get a few figures as well. And
it always starts with a few.
Yeah, Yes, yeah, it does. And it took one, and now and that was probably fall of 22, I think, that I finally I saw that you had posted from Joe Fest of 22. And so I'm like, man, those are some pretty cool figures there. I was like, those are awesome. And so I, said, okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna get one and see what I think. So I bought the Major Draconis figure, and the rest was pretty much history from that. I'm like, I'm good.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, Draconis is a good figure to start with because he's got like a variety of heads, and you can do him like a robot, or you can do him like a zombie, or he's got a lot of good variety to him.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about the line is the multiple head sculpts you get with figures, and
definitely.
the multiple hands as well. I would say that's probably one of the, to me, that's one of the, the best parts of the line is you get all those extra pieces.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And it lets you kind of like make your own, like, yes, like the Draconis had the one that he came with on the body is great, but I kind of keep him as like the robot version, myself. So it lets you kind of like roll your own thing, let your imagination run wild, and have some fun with it.
Yes. Hey Pirates, thanks for joining. Fatback, appreciate you coming out. Nebulous Nexus,
and thank you Pirates for the comment. I don't know if I got everybody into Eagle Force, but everybody should get into Eagle Force.
Yeah. I will say this, when I got into it, you were Deep Space Outpost 321. Hey, so when I got, I guess when I saw you posting them, that's when I got into it. All right, so I'm just gonna scroll down here.
Yes, I'm here on the internet to help enable all of you to buy more Eagle Force and other.
Yeah, you were about the only person I knew that was posting about Eagle Force. And well, okay, so I guess
Vavak's been in.
Vavak's been collecting since the beginning. Okay. Well, I had really, I don't know if I had seen any of you guys posting any of them or not, but I know that when I noticed Bob, whenever I started following him, I guess that's when I really noticed it, I guess. And so, yeah, the rest is history. So Pirates. Okay. So here's the thing. I remember when I was younger, I guess a teen or something like that, we had a mall where I grew up in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and they called it the Pines Mall. And I'm not sure what came first, that name or the name of the Pines in the Back to the Future movie mall. But anyway, so they had a couple of toy stores. They had not Toys R Us. They had KB Toys. They had Circus World toys. And I don't know if anybody else knew about Circus World. They had those in other malls or whatever.
Sounds familiar.
But I remember KB Toys specifically. I remember. I feel like I have a recollection of seeing Eagle Force on the pegs there as KB was about to, get to the point where they were about to, I guess, sell out or go bankrupt or whatever. But I remember, I thought, seeing Eagle Force figures on the shelf with, I guess, the red-orange card or whatever, maybe. And I guess they were die-cast figures.
Yep.
And maybe they
were small. They were
small, and they
like
had
2.5 inches or so. Yeah.
And they had maybe some moving parts, maybe.
Yeah, they were like 5 POA. like I had a few of them as a kid, and they looked really cool. And I had the little bump and go Jeep that they used to ride around in, but they didn't really fit with GI Joe at the time, which was kind of a bummer.
Okay, so Nebula remembers Circus World toys.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, I'm not sure how many they had or whatever, but anyway, yeah. So I remember seeing those, and I think it was about the same time that I remember seeing the droids or Ewoks figures on the shelf, maybe. Not 100% sure, but
I don't remember when those came out because as a kid, Star Wars was forbidden to me. So
I had them all of the original trilogy up until when they started releasing them with coins, and I think they were Power of the Force, something like that. But I was really kind of out of action figures kind of by that time, and so I really didn't. And I really thought the Ewoks and the droids lines were like, I don't know. I thought they were like, a little bit too much. Not there. I don't really feel like they were Star Wars enough, like the rest of the Kenners.
Yeah, as I recall, they were like real cartoony looking.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I do remember Eagle Force being there. Of course, I think maybe I might have bought a couple because they were super low price or something like that. But
yeah, I think Eagle Force was like one of the last lines that Mego put out before they went out of business.
Okay.
So it may have been at that time, they may have been like trying to just clearance them out.
Yeah. Well, I know KB would sometimes, drop the price on stuff just to move it. They would have the regular price up top and then their sale price down below with like a, line through the regular price, like, up, on sale or whatever. But
yeah, we knocked 3 cents off of it. It's on sale.
That's right. Yeah. So Pyre says, yeah, they roughly the same height as the mask figures. They had less articulation and they were pretty much 5 POA. So yeah. So I guess I just don't remember. It's my mind is hazy about those action figures back in the day.
Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't really last as long as some other lines. Partly because of Mego, I guess, going out of business, or maybe the different height. They didn't catch on.
Right. Well, I think G.I. Joe was pretty much the main army,
Oh, yeah.
in those days anyway, I think. So, I mean, it's like you had something that was just, I mean, that's at least it was for me anyway. G.I. Joe was, the end all be all for like action figures for a good while,
Yeah, especially when they got the swivel arm battle grip and could like hold their weapons with like 2 hands.
That changed.
That was it.
They sure did. All right, so we've got some pictures of our figures that we're going to show off, and I will bring out. These are going to be Bob's, so I will let Bob talk about these guys as he wants to. So take it away, Bob.
All right. So my interest in one of the things I really like about the Eagle Force line is like the diversity of themes that they've got going on. So it's not just like Army A versus Army B. And I kind of tend to lean a little heavier into the sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
So first up, we've got Prince Zarzak. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but that's how I say it.
Yep. Okay.
He's he's like the villain for like, he's like your typical space villain guy. Then we've got like General Brown, who's the in his Star Force or Space Force outfit. Although I think they're changing that to Star Commanders. It'll be the new like theme of that line.
Yeah.
Then we've got one of the hidden who has a very similar resemblance to like Micronauts, which were like a huge thing for me as a kid. Well, even like well into like when I started getting into G.I. Joe's, Micronauts were still part of the play team. And then we've got Sandstorm, who's one of their one of their like newer military guys. So he's like the way they're doing like the lore in the Eagle Force line. Hey, excuse me, just a moment.
No problem.
Sorry. So like there's the Eagle Force team back when they had the gold uniforms, and that was like back in the 80s. And then they've kind of like aged them up to like the modern age. So like all the original Eagle Force guys are like all old now, and they're like training the new guys. And Sandstorm is one of those new guys that they're training up. And then we've got Black Terror, which is one like from their kind of like superhero theme.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like an old character from like the 1940s comics that fell into public domain. So they've kind of modernized him up and everything. So
yeah, I like the fact that they have a pretty diverse group of characters that they're working on, and they have out. And I do like the space. I do like the space guys or the sci-fi element as well.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to the next.
All right. Oh, so here we've got the full color range of the hidden. So originally they were just going to do the orange guy, and then they were like, well, we've already got the bolts and all that, so they did them in some other colors as well. The other colors I don't think are on Big Bad Toy Store yet, but you can go to the Fresh Monkey Fiction website and get them. So if you don't want orange, you want like yellow or green, blue or red, they're there for you. And they all come with like the same equipment, like 3 different heads, pistol, little sword, and holsters for them both. So
yeah, so these guys, you just told me are the bad guys, right?
technically in the Eagle Force lore that's going on now, yeah, they are they are bad guys for the Agents of the Impossible, like the group. So they were kind of operating like in the Eagle Force in this current Eagle Force lore. So they were operating like around in the 70s as like a special investigation team, and then the hidden are like villains that are like trying to like manipulate stuff behind the scenes and whatnot.
Yeah. So I you were saying that you have them, you use them for, I guess, for the Micronauts in your headcanon, I guess.
Yeah. So like when I was a kid, Micronauts were always the heroes of my playtime. So when Eagle Force or when the guys behind it were writing it and saying, "Oh, these are villains," I'm like, no, not in my headcanon. For me, they're heroes that are now just kind of misunderstood. Like the Agents of the Impossible don't realize that they're doing stuff behind the scenes to try to stop other worse stuff from happening.
Right. Yeah. I kind of use these guys as just whatever. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much. Well, I'll use them as good guys or bad guys at times, depending on what head I swap on them or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like these guys. I like the fact that you have a little bit of choice to choose which color you want to have, with those guys.
Yeah. And then here you can also like take the torso off of one and put it on the body of the other, like I did with this guy, and kind of make your own little figure. And this is his like team that he, in my headcanon, that he hangs out with. So, like Bullet Man.
So go ahead. So who are the 2 other guys in this picture?
So we got Bullet Man and John Strong, and so they're his like they're what I call the Voyagers, even though again the technical lore is a little different, but that's a whole nother episode we can talk about, like lore versus headcanon. But yeah, like to have these guys run around together in my mind. So
and they're doing a little bit of rebranding within the company. As far as the line goes, with some of the teams getting new names, or and then, okay.
Oh yeah, like the the Agents of the Impossible used to be Adventure Force. They're your kind of like team that goes against all like the super science guys and like weird stuff. So, and then this is my like headcanon space team that goes on adventures, fights Prince Zarzak and his crew and stuff like that.
All right. Okay. So we're going to move to the next slide. And there you go.
And there's Prince himself. So in the official lore, he was a deposed leader, like John Strong and some other rebels went up against him, defeated his father, kicked him out, sent him into exile. So that kind of like works with how I like to view him. And if you click to the next slide, he has put together, and for me, a little team of villains and mercenaries and whatnot to get their revenge on the from being deposed. So
yeah, I like that. I like that figure. I definitely like the fact that it comes with another head to make the henchman, if you will. Hello, Defiant Outer Rim Station.
Hey.
I guess there's some confusion on. I don't know. I guess of course, I told everybody that this stream was going to have its hiccups and technical difficulties, and I don't know exactly what happened, but we definitely hit the technical difficulties. What's up, Famine? Yeah, I don't know. We did it live, and then we had to do it live again, and then I don't know. Maybe we're still doing it live.
It happens. It's technology. Yeah. Sometimes it just likes to do its own thing.
Yeah. First time caller here. I'm trying to get on live stream, so give me a little bit of I guess sympathy, please.
Hey, Starboy.
Starboy. Hey, Joel. So anyway, I really like that figure. To me, sort of has a sort of Flash Gordon to him somewhat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And anyway, I know Grumpy Puppet. I don't know what happened, but we're here. I don't know if it was wrong or what, but all right. So the next slide, I guess. Or do you want to talk about the rest of these guys in the slide?
No, we can say that for another. Like I said, this was just his like team of like guys I put together that like the Chill Shot Trooper with the blue skin. He was supposed to be something else in the line, but I was like, no, he looks better as an alien. And then now my mind is frozen. The Dread Trooper there in the back, is technically from like Grindhouse Toys, but I was like, nah, he looks good here. So
it's a good figure, and we'll probably go back and touch base a little bit with him a little bit more, because he is, if I'm not mistaken, he's an actual sort of throwback, I guess, to a Cobra male.
Yeah, he was like the like G.I. Joe had their Steel Brigade, where you could create yourself as a G.I. Joe, and then eventually they did it with like Cobra for the I guess the somebody crowd that wanted to do that, like put themselves in as a Cobra instead of a Joe. So
Gotcha, I gotcha. And in the same colors too, if I'm not mistaken. They sort of
I think so, yeah. Like
some of the same colors at least.
Yeah, I never got to create a Cobra, so I'm not.
I didn't either.
Sure on that, so.
I sort of found out about it when I was doing a little bit of Chris was posting this on Grindhouse. I think they went into some explanation about the figure, but anyway, we can talk about him another time.
Yeah, and then here we have General Brown, our leader of the Space Forces. in my head, kind of like all the forces or all the groups, instead of being like different points in the timeline, I've just kind of mashed them all together. And General Brown, once he took over Space Force or Star Commanders or whichever you want to call it, brought all those groups together and said, okay, now you're basically different teams under my leadership, and I'll assign you to missions as needed. It's like if we need like some sort of super science thing explored, then the Agents of the Impossible are sent out. If Riot is trying to do some sort of terrorism thing, then Eagle Force is sent out. If we need another military team sent out, then we'll use like the backup Eagle Force guys that are in training. We'll send them out to do something. So yeah, he's the kind of the head honcho of everything.
Yes, he comes with his own group of guys, man.
Yeah. These alternate heads, and like there's also 2 other alternate heads that come with him, so you can make your own like troopers out of them. And
yeah, I don't know people that just got here. That was one of the things that I was mentioning that I love about the line is the fact that they have, multiple head sculpts and multiple hands, usually with each figure. And you'll at least get 2 heads, with some figures. And
the modern or the most recent figures are definitely 2 heads. Some of the earliest ones were just a single head, but now about 2 heads is,
and then up to
or more,
5, right? With some of them. Or maybe
about 4 or 5. I think it's the higher end
deal for the money that you spend on these things. Because you can definitely army build if you want to.
Oh yes. Basically, any character now coming out is an army builder because with the extra heads, like any of these figures shown, well, maybe except for the hidden.
They
can be like army builders.
A henchman face or a henchman. I guess.
Head. Yeah, they've got like one with hair, one bald, and then one that's kind of like translucent with like a cubey face. Painted on there.
But I mean, you can pop on other heads, I guess, from the which you want to use. But all right, so here we go.
Then here we got Sandstorm, the more kind of like military themed guy. And he also has alternate heads, so you can like make him a troop builder. And one thing that's really great about him that I don't think that the picture probably doesn't show it really well, like his face camo is like 2 different colors of like face camo. So there's that darker that you see. Oh, because in height.
Oh, thank you.
So there's that darker that you see, but then there's a lighter one that's kind of lined in with it.
Starboy, what base body are you talking about? Are you talking about this guy maybe? This base body is basically one of them that they have for most of the. I would guess you'd say
most of spacesuit guys.
The spacesuits. They have this. They have a couple of the red ones. And then they have a white one, right? That you have you could get from like the Fresh Monkey Fiction website, right?
Yeah, although those are sold out, so I don't know how easy they are to find now.
Yeah, I missed out on a few of those, and anyway, I would have probably dirtied them up if I'd have got them anyway. So it's probably not the worst thing that I didn't get, but
grab a couple, but that's literally it, just like 2. And,
so most of these figures, so playing with my 375, so most of them, well, not most of them, most of the newer ones coming out do have a thigh swivel, right?
Yeah, the any of the ones, the newer ones with the kind of baggy pants legs, like the legs that like General Brown had, and those will have the thigh swivel. Sandstorm, let me double check. I happen to have them right here. It came out before the thigh swivel, but the stuff going forward should have the thigh swivel.
And honestly, though, I don't think it really takes that. I don't really think it takes away from the ones that are out now.
Oh no,
because I mean, they're pretty good, even without the thigh swivel.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Would they be better with it? Yes, but I mean, I don't think it takes away from it.
Sound thigh swivels, I'm kind of like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. To me, they're not as big of a deal because granted, maybe it's because I'm getting old, but my legs don't bend like that. So
right.
Most of these guys, like Sandstorm here, still has the boot swivel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need to like alter it some like that, you can.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, I personally think these guys have like all the right articulation. Like they're not too much, but not too little. They've got the ankle rocker, they've got the ball joint hips, they've got the interchangeable hands, and the hands have joints. The torso articulation is like a ball joint into the waist, so you get all that like O-ring action that we used to have as kids, but you don't have to worry about the rubber band breaking.
That's right.
And so even with that, you still get some ab crunch, but it's not like a double, like a split in the torso or anything. You don't get that, as Mark Webber says, that brutal chest cut.
Yeah. I think they're a good figure. I mean, I think the fact that the different hands is a big selling point.
Oh yeah,
is you can really make some different positions and of positioning the figures and stuff, and how you can display them with their different hands that they have. And so so that to me I think is a big bonus.
That's probably also a great bonus for like folks that do like the action figure photography and stuff.
Yeah,
to have the hands in a different position or different style instead of always just like hooked, like walk around like this. And
let's do the with a surprise or the getting ready to run types, stand
right.
Yeah, you can get a lot out of them. All right.
So this is basically Sandstorm's little like Eagle Force training team. So they're not the main Eagle Force guys with the gold uniforms and all that, but they're like the backups or the support staff. So like if the main guys need a desert specialist, they say, "Oh, hey, Sandstorm, come help us out on this mission." Or you've also got your ninja guy there who was in the line, is supposed to like been one of the trainees that turned bad and went to work for Riot. But I was just like, no, let's just let's give him that Eagle Force logo on the arm and keep him in there. And we got a SWAT guy and a mechanic, and then a blockhead back there in the back that's just a basic infantry guy. And
apparently he was apparently a lot of people, I didn't get him, of course now he's sold out, but apparently a lot of people really like that character because
he's a good man.
And
Charlie Brown.
It's you would have to know, what I'm saying. Okay, so Pirate said, do they have upper thigh swivel? Well, they have
the newer ones do.
The newer ones,
the last wave that came out is where they introduced the upper thigh swivel.
Right. And so basically, I don't think I have, I don't know if I have, I can't remember if I have any. Well, I don't know if I have any that have the upper thigh or not, but like I said, it doesn't take away from my
foot. No, that ball jointed hip gives you plenty of range of motion.
Yes.
And thank you, Famine.
I appreciate you. All right, so let's go to the next slide.
Yeah.
All right,
And then here we have Black Terror, whose name didn't really age well, but go with it. That's what he was. So I love that he's got like the kind of skull and crossbones
yes.
logo, and that what he's holding there is like an extra head that could be his like helmet. So if you wanted to use that instead of the domino mask.
Yeah, I like the fact that I like the fact that they use like they brought some of the old, I guess, creations or the
Mm-hmm.
old characters into making figures out of them. I like that, and they
Oh
mop
yeah.
them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they give him a little modern makeover, and
Yeah, I like when they can do that. It's always depending on, I guess, the license of characters and stuff, and their, I guess, whether the rights and all that stuff. But I do like the fact that they they took a few characters and were able to use them, and it's I think that's kind of cool.
oh, and under his body armor, he's also got the skull and crossbones logo on his like t-shirt.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that on a lot of these characters or a lot of the figures that you have, you can take off their vest or their space harness or whatever, and you can take those off. So it's like you don't have to keep those on the figures if you don't want to. You can take them off, and I haven't really customized any, as far as like popping them apart. I know you've taken I know you've taken a couple apart.
Yeah.
And so I guess hot water will do the trick, I guess, right?
Hot water or a little time under the hair dryer. Either way, whichever way you prefer, it gets the same results.
Right.
I prefer the hair dryer method just because
Yeah, it's
you
fast.
don't have like it's a little faster, and then you don't have like water getting up into the joints and whatnot. I'm just more concerned, I guess.
Taking a couple of the legs off just to kind of see things, see how they would come off. But I think I've pulled an arm out once, just to kind of see how it goes. But I'm not real comfortable doing that, with these figures,
It's pretty safe. Like once you get them to a good warmth, it's pretty safe to pop them apart. Especially like popping the torso off of the waist,
right.
or popping the legs out of the hip joints. Even like a lot of times, even popping the hands out, you don't really have to warm them up. But I would recommend like gripping them like at the wrist, at like the base of the hand, just so you're getting a good grip on it, not putting too much stress on that post, because that post it's a little small, but I haven't had one break yet.
So. I haven't had any of the hands break. I did have one of the head bulbs break because I was stupid. I had one of the blue hidden, and like a madman, I was just thinking I could just smash that thing on there, and it busted. It broke off inside of his neck, and so I have you can still put most of the heads on the figures. Most of them will fit around their neck. If you do that, but I was kind of thinking maybe it might have been a little bit of the translucent color peg. Might have had a little bit to do with it.
Maybe I know, like in the past, translucent plastics have been a little more fragile than others. Like when they did when Takara did the Microforce like 2000 line, that was like super articulated, like had like double jointed shoulders and stuff. Some of those over the years would start to like fall apart in the package just because the translucent plastics that they use just started breaking down. So translucent plastic is a little bit of a.
I'm sure it was my fault. The fact that I was just trying to, I was trying, instead of going and doing it, with a hair dryer and making sure that I put it on there, I was just
Just
being
pulling.
being a dummy and just trying to squeeze it on there. And sometimes you can just you can like little turn them and squeeze and press down. And I think I just was like, in there. And
yeah, we've all been there. We've all done it. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. Oh, and the answer Defiant's question here. Big Bad Toy Store is you can get most of them there, or you can get them from the Fresh Monkey Fiction store.
Yes, you can.
Oh yeah. Oh yikes!
Yeah,
melted a few figures with the hair dryer.
Yeah, Fresh Monkey Fiction usually will only have well, I don't know if they have I don't think they have the huge selection.
No.
Big Bad does, but Big Bad is definitely
well, Big Bad's the exclusive retailer now of because they're in a partnership deal with Fresh Monkey Fiction, from my understanding, and so they're that's where you go when the next wave of pre-orders come up to hit those MOQs or minimum order quantities. That's where it'll be.
Famine. A little bit of water torture will sometimes do the trick.
Oh, it's not water torture; it's spa treatment. It's like soaking into hot springs.
There you go. All right, so you want to finish out the slide on these guys?
Oh yeah, so this is Black Terror with his teammates in the Liberty Legion. So the guy in the red, all red and blue, is American Crusader. The other guy's Lash Lightning, and all three of these guys are just standard, are just public domain characters that Fresh Monkey Fiction or in the Eagle Force line has done some updates on their uniforms. Lash Lightning comes with a space harness that has the bubble helmet, and then American Crusader comes with the body armor, kind of similar to Black Terror's, that you can use or not use however you like. And of course, both Lash Lightning has a translucent blue head if you want to give them that full-on energy guy look. And then American Crusader has some alternate heads for trooper versions. So
aquatic persuasion, Famine. That's what it is. So I guess so I think we've already said it, but I guess with these guys are from the pulp heroes type style.
Yeah, they're all characters from the early 40s, maybe even back into the 1930s that they were pulp characters or comic book companies that went out of business.
I like how I've seen somebody has I can't remember what art I saw. I don't know if it was Fresh Monkey Fiction or what, but I saw a sort of pulpy artwork of these guys, and it may have been somebody through Fresh Monkey, but it looked pretty badass, with these three guys back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. Is it the one where American Crusaders single-handedly holding up the tank?
Yeah.
That was really nice.
That looked pretty cool. Okay. Grumpy Puppet. So your guy has the blue head.
Oh yeah.
Talking about the one of the Freeze guys, or the.
I think he's talking about the Lash Lightning.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he comes with the translucent blue head.
Okay, all right.
The only thing I didn't like about that particular head, why I went with the fleshy head on mine, is the translucent blue is really light, so you can see a lot of the collar through his head. And it was just, for me personally, it just, I was like,
I do like the fact that they gave him the blue effects.
I guess
effect or whatever. were they two of them included in that one?
Yeah, there's two in the package. I just had the one because
I think that was like a sort of a surprise, right? Because we didn't know that they were going to give him that, and so that's pretty cool. That's another ad that they didn't have to do, but hey, they did. I guess I don't know if he comes with a weapon or not, but I guess
no, just the blue effects, and he's got like a set of like gloved hands, and then the translucent blue hands.
Gotcha. All right, so I think that is all of your slides.
Yep.
So we will go to mine now, I guess. All right. So,
awesome figure right there.
This is my first Eagle Force figure. So, like I said, Bob had been displaying all of these, and I decided to finally get one. And so I don't know what made me get him. I guess because I like the robot head, And so Major Draconis is the name of the figure, and he comes with I think 3 heads. One of them is like a sort of zombie head, right? One is this robot head, I guess. Is this the Singularity, I guess?
Well, it's up to you if you want. It's the same head that like the Singularity robot troopers use,
right?
Just painted different. So it's kind of up to the collector's imagination. It's like,
so
does Major Draconis secretly work for the Singularity, or does he his own guy?
Major Draconis, now the head is actually it's like an older guy.
The head is like the human-y head is the Stalin head that was part of their original they did with the Meso toys in that Space Force line.
So I haven't really displayed that. I'll put that head on a couple of different figures, but mostly it's just going to stay in the pile. But,
same with me. Yeah.
I like this head, and this head, the thing I like about Eagle Force is that you can put these heads on most any figure. With a little bit of work. Like they will definitely,
some easier than others, but a little work here and there. But but not much.
Go ahead.
Oh no, that's what that was. It was just it doesn't take much work to get them to fit on other bodies.
Any Acid Rain figure pretty easily, and they'll fit on most of your Hasbro vintage collection figures too. Some of the bulbs are different, but like I said, you can sometimes put these head sculpts on the Star Wars figures even without their neck bulb. You can just put them around their neck because they have kind of a bigger, not as big a hole as some in their head that some of the Star Wars figures do, but you can make them work with a little bit of work on some of them. Some of them are easier than others, like you said. But so this was my first figure, and after I bought him, I was like, man, it's pretty awesome. And so I ended up getting a couple more, and I like the fact that he's a space type figure. He does come with a space harness and the bubble helmet. The bubble helmets,
they're awesome.
They're awesome. I mean, and you can fit them on there. They don't have like a perfect fit all the time. You have to sort of make it work, but you can almost just sit it on there and make it work just like that without having to try to like sort of, actually, plug it in. So, I mean, it's easy. And
one thing about the Baron Draconis figure, or not Baron, Major Draconis figure is I think he's the only one that's come with like a wash on his body. Like I haven't seen that on the other figures, but he's got a nice wash over his that gets into the grooves of his uniform and whatnot.
And that was, I guess, another reason why I kind of liked it, I guess, because it wasn't a bright, flashy figure, you know what I'm saying? It was something I thought that, fit, in my world is, an explorer, a sci-fi dude. You know what I'm saying? Just
Oh yeah.
it's it works. I've got one of the excuse me, one of the prince's heads on this one, and on the other guy, it's a GI Joe Techno Viper, and
Oh yeah.
it's on there perfectly. It's all perfectly. And so yeah, it's like the bubble helmets are great pirates. It's like they're
and I like that cloak you've got on the one with the Techno Viper head. Is that from Star Wars or?
Yeah, it's from Hasbro. I think it might have been from Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Which one? But yeah, it's definitely from a Jedi for sure. You can I had like a little belt around it where it sort of tied it together, but honestly, you don't have to.
Like his little bathrobe.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. But anyway, so yeah, this is like one of my favorite figures of the line, and like I said, I'm glad I got him. And
he's a great figure. He's got a lot of options.
I may get a couple more. Anyway, so all right, so I'm gonna keep it going. All right, so here's the deal. So this guy, I've only got a couple of them, and
for now.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like I may have to like hold out and see if they replenish them on Fresh Monkey, because he's now sold out on Big Bad.
Oh, okay.
And so I grabbed the last one. So sorry if anybody was wanting to get this guy, but they had one left, and I had to get to make at least a couple of these guys. But so this guy doesn't come with a bubble helmet, or does he? He doesn't come with a bubble helmet.
No, he doesn't have the bubble helmet.
And I put a bubble helmet on him because I've got this sci-fi poster book it's like a classic sci-fi art book, and it has a bunch of movie posters in it from back in the day. And I'm not even sure they're legit posters, or unless somebody just made them as sort of throwbacks to movie posters. But I know Starboy got a book. I was sending everybody links to this thing before Christmas because it's normally like $45 or something like that. And so yeah, so it was like down to $22 on Amazon. And if you it's probably still the same price, but there were a lot of even Back to the Future, the yellow suit, was like sci-fi, it sort of screams sci-fi to me.
Yeah.
And, anyway, so I like this character. Even though he's a bad guy, he's a henchman,
Yeah.
But and even I guess everybody's saying that he's also able to be represented by what's the TV show?
The Venture Brothers, is that the one?
Yeah. That they sort of favor them, I guess, a little bit or whatever. But yeah, I like the guy. I like him as
he's awesome. I've got a few of them.
I love the fact that you put them in precarious positions whenever you post them. That one of them is usually getting killed or maimed in your picture.
Yeah.
Use of these guys.
Yeah, that's my kind of running theme with them, because I see the Claw as like one of these like wacky super science organizations that use like this technology they don't really understand. So some henchmen, because is always getting into trouble using their stuff. And if I recall right, I'm not sure if I'm having like a Mandela effect moment or if I actually saw it or not, but I seem to think like one of the early promotional images of this figure, he was listed as like, the Claw cannon fodder. Like cannon fodder was like his subtitle. So that's kind of how it's just stuck in my mind now that I see them. And
I get that too. And I think that Pirates is right. I was thinking AIM. Yeah, he would be for sure in that.
Like the Monarch's crew that are always getting killed.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, so that's but you know, yeah, you can use them like that. And like I said, I've thrown around the fact that I might redo a couple of those sci-fi posters in
Oh,
action
nice.
form, and I think this guy would be great.
Oh, he'd be perfect. Yeah.
Like, you know, the poster, you know. So anyway, but moving on.
And that Star Wars rifle you got with him is great.
Thanks.
Gives him
Yeah,
that like very
I,
futuristic.
I felt like I like the Eagle Force figures, and I'm not like most of them come with like a laser pistol,
Mhm.
but and then some of them come with like just like modern military weapons, you know, like
Yeah.
machines and stuff. And I'd prefer to use space type guns. You know what I'm saying? They're
Mhm.
like
Oh no, I get it. Yeah.
their laser pistols are good and everything like that, and they work, you know, but they don't really have any like long gun, you know, like long like you know rifles or anything that are
Right.
you know related. But anyway, yeah, you can make it. You got a plethora of space guns to use from
Oh
Star
yeah. I mean,
Wars.
all of us have probably got like
Oh
a whole bin of just
yeah.
guns. You know, this is just like, oh, here's extra guns we have.
It's like if you have more than 15 Star Wars figures, you probably have a bag of black weapons somewhere, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, anyway, you can use whatever weapons you want. Okay. And so, um, yeah, this guy is John Strong, the character John Strong.
Hmm.
So he is one of those, I guess, licensed. Hey Timbo, no problem. We'll just
Yeah.
take it back from the beginning. You can
Yeah.
see the first like 15 minutes of us not knowing if we were live or not, but
Oh, it wasn't that long. It's like 5.
no, it wasn't. It was not that. But anyway, but yeah. So this guy comes with. We'll just go to the. I love the fact. I love the colors. I love
Hmm.
the whole helmet. You know.
Oh
Um,
yeah, he's definitely that like
it's a
retro.
it's a
Oh,
perfect
sorry.
figure. No, it's a perfect figure to me.
Hmm. Yeah, and like that's like one of the extra heads. Like you got him with the kind of cowl head and the harness and space bubble that he comes with, where it's like I've got him with the cape and the blonde haired yeah, like that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I did keep the cape on that guy.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to
Uh,
see a little bit because of the way I have him positioned, but
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think the cape with the harness it's okay, but I mean it's to me I don't need the cape. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
I kind of wonder what it would be like without the harness because I've taken pretty much all the capes off all the guys I got except for this
Mhm.
guy. So and they're not the easiest to put back on. I don't know,
No, they can be a
you know,
little tricky.
but
You know,
yeah,
to get them back on, but
um, they probably will have um different colorways of that one claw character because they have a red one that's a riot trooper or I don't know if that's really
oh yeah, he's kind of like the one of the riot pilots.
but he's almost he's the same body but he's
Yeah.
painted colors. Matter of fact, he's red and or maroonish.
Yeah, hang on, I've got one right somewhere. I know I had one. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, something like this.
Let me do this. If I can, I don't know if I can do this or not.
See
Let
if
me
I can hold
see.
them.
Let me see. Actually, I don't know how to. I don't know
No
how to
problem.
make
Oh,
you that big. So
that's okay.
there
This
you
is big enough. Yeah.
go. Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like that. It's got the
So it's the same. It's the same body. You know,
Mhm.
and like I said, it's a little bit of the same color. I mean, it's a different figure, but anyway. All right. Let me
Yeah, that's one thing I also like about this line is they've been able to like take a like set number of molds and really devise like a wide variety of characters, like just using the same body parts.
yeah.
Because like this John Strong and the Riot Trooper pilot, those are the same bodies as the hidden. It's that muscular kind of bare body almost, but you change the colors, you do it clear plastic, put a different head on it. It's beautiful.
That's right.
So they've been able to like really do a lot with
I mean
sets.
I agree with you. It's like they definitely do a lot with what they have.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't just like, oh, we're just going to make this guy all red or all blue. You know what I'm saying? It's like they will, they will change it up, and that's good. So
totally.
I know. It works. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Here's another one. Capes kill. That's right.
Oh yeah.
They definitely do. They definitely do. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I keep my cape on the John Strong is because it gives them that more like retro 1940s, 50s, like
and I was talking to you about
strip Flash Gordon look.
I was talking about that earlier. Maybe somebody from the chat will know. Comic books, John Strong. What was it? If I'm not mistaken, I had the comics. I can't remember if it was a DC or DC Image type deal, Wildstorm or something. Wasn't there a? Well, that was maybe Tom Strong. Okay, I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking of two different people. I think now that this guy's
name is I always get confused if it's Tom or John. I have to go back and look at it so often.
I think it's the super powered guy. I can't remember what comic it was or whatever, but he was in his own little world with other people, and they had powers and stuff. And anyway,
you may be thinking. I don't know if you watched the Justice League animated series, but there was one episode where they went to like an alternate dimension that had a bunch of characters from the comic books that like Green Lantern used to read. Maybe one of them was Tom Strong or Tom Tomorrow, or
it's possible. I can't remember. My mind is it's things just don't stay there. Once I see it,
I know
it's gone. I can't remember. Like I said, I could Google it, of course, and figure it out, but I'm not doing that now. Timbo's got it. Alan Moore.
Oh, okay.
And I think that they had a few series. I think there was only 3. Like maybe one. The first series had maybe, I don't know, a few issues, and then they kind of got smaller after that because I don't know. But yeah, I think his name was Tom Strong. Okay, so I'm not crazy, but anyway, so we have a Tom Strong and a John Strong. So this guy is John Strong right here.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Vintage Space Hero.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is another of my favorites. The same body, Jet Powers.
Mm-hmm.
He comes with, I want to say 3. I guess these 3 heads. I think, or is it 4?
I want to say there's one more. Yeah, I think there's 4.
Maybe another one. I cannot remember. I think there might be another one. But anyway, I love the figure. I love the color. I like the fact that you can use the guy on the left with the bubble helmet. You can use him as, I wouldn't really say a henchman, but a soldier, I guess. With the
the Lord Tom Strong, or not Tom Strong. Sorry, I'm still on the last guy. Jet Powers leads he's one of like the top operatives of an organization called Team. So like he's like, say you're like point man, and then he would have like a team of other guys backing him up.
Gotcha.
So like troopers.
Yep. And
whatnot.
These guys, I mean, they're definitely good army builders.
Oh yeah.
I like the colors. They do something for me. It presses all the right buttons for me. And so I'm sorry, I don't know how that got there.
Oh, that's fine. That shows the customization ability of the
Yeah, he
for these
doesn't want
figures.
to be a soldier anymore. He's going to go start his own band in another universe. But yeah, so like I said, you can customize these guys. You can pop the heads off the Star Wars figures, and some of them will take more work than the other way around. But like this
Mhm.
Bith head, you can almost put this Bith head on like almost any figure. It goes on
Oh, nice.
every chicken fried, all those Western figures easily.
Mhm.
One little
Ooh,
pop and pull, and you got it on there.
I'll have to try
Um,
that.
and then you have to, like, sometimes you got to pull the peg out of his head to make.
Oh yeah, depending on the neck joint of the other figure. Yeah.
But yeah, I love that Biff head, and I've probably put
Hmm.
about 15 different figures because I mean, it just makes a different figure. I mean, he doesn't have to be on an Eagle Force figure, but there he is.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's not a bubble that will fit around that nog.
Yeah, we need a bigger bubble for that head.
Right. You need a 20-gallon fish aquarium to go around that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, yeah, very customizable. These guys are.
Oh, totally.
And I
And the
love.
heads from Vitruvian Armory, I believe that's the right name of it. That website that it's kind of associated with Boss Fight Studio, but they do some other stuff. Any of their heads that come with like the barbell joint,
Yeah.
those will usually pop right onto a Eagle Force body. No problem, like no alterations. They won't be as tight,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not like floppy loose.
Gotcha.
They just move a little freer.
I think most of the people these days that are probably watching or that follow us pretty much have a good understanding of how to fix that. You know what I'm saying? How to ahead. It's like, it's not like when I was younger, I didn't think anything of I didn't think about swapping parts on figures and stuff like that. And it wasn't until these past few years that I'm like, man, this figure looks cool, but man, I sure would like to do something else with him. You know what I'm saying? Not just keep him the same, the same all the time. And so I went into I say customizing, but a lot of it's popping and swapping. So
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, pop and swapping is just as legitimate as any other customizing.
I like to try different stuff, and I know like I said, most everybody in this chat definitely does the same thing, and they know.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, like early on, I learned as a kid when I had like Micronauts and Buck Rogers O-ring figures. That's like, oh, that's a screw in the back. It can be unscrewed, and pulled out. And then later, even with like GI Joe, I started like trying to put, I'd like mix up my GI Joes, or I try to put like GI Joes on arms on a Micronaut body, so it'd have that like swivel arm action. Yeah. So popping and swapping is.
I'll go ahead and say this since there's only 14 people watching, but I never took apart a GI Joe figure.
That's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I knew that there was a screw in the back, but and my dad took a couple apart to put in a new
band. Yeah.
And so I just never thought about, taking them apart for some reason, it just didn't occur to me at the time because I don't know. I guess I had enough with what I had to where I didn't about, making new characters or anything like that, but anyway, so yeah. So this
is a great body. This is a great figure here.
I love this guy. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys that we're showing are no longer for sale. At least
for now. Hopefully they'll come back.
I hope so. I mean, I really hope so because it's a really good figure.
Pirates.
Yeah, Pirates. It's a great community, and I think that we all do help each other out, and we inspire each other. And, it's been great for me. But yeah, this figure is Commander Eagle, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Commander
From
Eagle.
the alternate evil mirror dimension or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
And so he's a bad guy, just like Major Draconis is. And I
Well,
was talking to
yeah.
Bob
Bad,
earlier.
no,
Huh?
sorry. I was going to say bad guy if in your headcanon you want to make him a bad guy. If you want
Oh,
to
that's
make him
That's true.
a
That's
good guy, like in the old, when I had the adventure people, they released a figure called Clawtron that was supposed to be an evil alien, but I was like, no, this dude looks too cool to be a villain, so he's going to be a hero.
Yeah, for sure. Famine is like the HK figure. Looks like it was made for.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely. I've put that head on them, and it's a little bit different shade. But I mean, if you weather, if you darken that HK up, it'll fit right perfectly. So my three guys here with this Commander Eagle, you get the Commander Eagle head with the patch on his. You can't see it because he's wearing a red bubble helmet. The only figure that has a different colored bubble so far.
Actually, Lash Lightning had a blue
Okay,
bubble.
okay.
Sorry.
I stand corrected. I don't have Lash.
No problem.
So that's okay. So you have this guy with a red one, and anyway, I was trying to figure out what those looms meant, Timbo. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, and so, but yeah, so those
Autocorrect.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so the Singularity robot head is the one I like the most. A lot of these figures because the Major Draconis figure I have is gray, and I just think that gray goes with everything.
Yeah.
But you got this figure, it's got to be the red head that goes with this.
Oh, totally.
It fits perfectly with that. And so, yeah, Pirates, that is a Destro head on that guy. And it's from, I guess, whatever the latest Destro was that was released, from Hasbro. I don't know.
Probably the anniversary figure.
Maybe anniversary or something like that, or was there another one released when they started redoing them again a few years ago? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm not real familiar with all the latest Joes they've released, like in the past, year or so. It's or 2 or 3 years. I have a Cobra Commander, and I've got, I don't know, maybe the Destro. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, these are really good figures. I like this guy. It's a good space figure. You can make them, you can make them, whatever you want to. And so that's pretty much the end of the slideshow, except
well, one thing. Sorry, I don't mean to. Let me just hop in for a second on that Commander Eagle figure. One thing they did was they slid in a repainted like Einstein head figure.
They did,
and it turns out that was actually a character that they revealed in like some of the trading cards.
Okay,
that we can talk about in another episode. But yeah, so really you get like 2 characters and a troop builder out of this one figure. I ended up like buying like 6 of these guys because of that.
They sold out quicker than they normally would, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you got a cool character, another character, and a troop builder all in the same figure. Yeah, those are going to sell out quick.
And I don't think they make the numbers that they originally did of the first few waves of them. I don't think, because there are still Major Draconis figures on Big Bad, but this guy was like sold out before they even made it to the States.
Yeah.
And so it's like clearly he's a cool figure. Because everybody must have been buying this guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's about like numbers or whatnot, but it may have just been this figure was cooler than Major Draconis.
A really good figure, and I lucked out when they had their Fresh Monkey had their sale. They did about a month ago, I guess, at the first of the year.
Yeah,
and so I lucked out and snagged another one there, and. So anyway, I like the figures.
Yeah. Overall, this is a line. Yeah, don't sleep on it. When you see new pre-orders come up, go ahead and get your orders in.
Yeah,
Because
it's like if you want to live dangerously, and not get some, then you can kind of look at them casually. But if you're really wanting some, you need to check that quantity figure or the quantity on the big bad, like at least once a week or something, to make sure it's not plummeting down. Because
yeah,
these figures, it's like when they hit last year, some of them were sold out before they made it.
start fulfilling. Yeah.
And so anyway, it's like I said, it's if you see a cool figure you want, it's $26 or $27, but
Around there, yeah.
as far as figures go, I mean, you get so much for the price that I feel like it's worth it totally.
Oh, totally. Now they have re-released some figures already. Like they've done like a re-release of like the basic gray suit riot trooper and stuff, but there's no guarantee that a figure, like once it's sold out, that a figure will come back. So get in soon.
Yeah, I think that you're living dangerously if you don't get one on Big Bad, and then because sometimes they will have, like, I don't know how many in stock sales they'll have on Fresh Monkey Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see it on there when they have that, I mean, because they don't have them very often.
Right.
So,
I think there's only been like 2 so far.
Yeah, so it's like you got to pull the trigger at that point in time if you don't. But basically, this is how I sort of saw them on Big Bad. And
hang on a second. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but let's just get to Starboy's question. The Gorgills is coming. It's going to be part of the 40th anniversary wave. Well, there's a few waves that are part of that, but it is coming. Last I heard, it will probably be in April when it finally it delivers.
Oh, it's ready for sure, because it's gonna every figure that's on there is gonna hit at that time.
Yeah, get your finances in order.
That's right.
It might be a little hard of a hit, but it is totally worth it.
That's right. It's worth it. Pirates, he says he lives with diabetes. I live dangerously every day. I get it, man. I get around. I mean, it's the good thing about Big Bad is you can pre-order them, and it won't cost you a dime until they hit. So maybe if you're gonna have a little extra money, maybe you can put them on there. But anyway, really good line. This is how they
tax reforms are coming, or tax refunds, not reforms, but yeah.
So this is how they have them on Big Bad, pretty much, or the older ones. And so I was like, okay, I bought the figure, but unless you knew, I mean, you get extra hands and stuff, and so they've done a better job of updating like their pictures on Big Bad. Mm-hmm. So I know it's hard to see because it's a small picture, but they actually show you most everything you get now on the newer figures, and so I think they do a better job now with these. But man, it's like it would, to me, I mean, I would love to see a glamour shot of these guys. I think they would. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking to the wall or whatever, but maybe
I think you're right. Like, I think he's like Billy Kessler on Instagram has done some like great action photography shots with like Eagle Force figures. I think if they could put that up,
I think he may be the guy who does the glamour shots, and they're just like, hey, post these or whatever when because
I don't know if there's like a licensing fee to use his photos to promo the figures or whatnot, but and like Chris, who also has the Grindhouse Toys set, he's done some like paint masters for these figures,
Yes.
And oh my gosh, like the Gorgil's Paint Master he posted like a few months ago looks so much better than the one here on
Oh yeah,
Big
yeah,
Bad Toy Store.
I totally agree that they look so much better in hand than they do on these on the site for sure. And you can definitely see how good they look, especially when like I said, that Billy Kessler or whatever posts on his Instagram.
Oh yeah.
So they really pop when he takes pictures of them. But
yeah, he's got them. Of
anyway.
course, he has like some great backgrounds and lighting on them. It's beautiful.
Yes, yeah, he does a really good job. He definitely knows how to take a picture. That's for sure. So basically, this is the end of the slideshow, I do believe, and so we are going to have another one of these when it gets a little bit closer to the next wave hitting. Which will be, as Bob said, April potentially.
April's the last I heard. Hopefully sooner, fingers crossed.
I mean, I don't mind waiting till April, to be honest with you, but it's going to be. I mean, we're talking what, 20 something figures.
I think it was like 25-ish or maybe a little more. Plus, if you get extras for like troop builders and stuff,
I'm gonna tell you that I am not really into the military ones that much, or the mainline Eagle Force figures. I mean, will I get some? Yeah, I will. But I am more into the sci-fi space guys. Yeah, that's to me, that's my jam. For living over here, those guys are gonna live forever. But I do like the fact that, I mean, you can make any of those figures work for whatever. Can you make the guys wearing the military, their military outfits in the green dress, whatever, what I'm saying, the commander or whatever? That probably couldn't work exactly in a Star Wars type setting, but it would definitely work, for anything else, what I'm saying? But
and the gold suit guys coming up in the 40th anniversary waves.
Yeah,
those would probably work for space real easily. They'd work for like space or like Megaforce.
Yeah, there's a lot of cross play, I think, with some of those guys.
It's totally open to like what your imagination.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't have to do. You can put them in and do anything you want with them. But yeah, so and we'll talk about some of the newer figures coming out, and hopefully, we'll have a little bit more information, and so we're probably going to talk about some of our figures we think we're going to like, to get from the next wave.
Oh yeah, there's so many. I'm like looking forward to that.
It's really. I mean, there's some of them I'm just wanting to get the head sculpt for, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But and the werewolves, I'm really looking forward to those guys. I mean, I just love the diversity and like the fact that they sort of have like they are sort of doing the monster force, I guess, right? Or monster hunter.
Yeah, it's the monster force concept, from what I remember, started with like some figures in the 4-inch line, and then they decided to like move it up to the 6-inch scale because those sell better right now. I mean, and rising tides float all ships. So,
that's right. I am definitely glad to get some monsters in this line, though. That'd be great. There's a few bodies that will work as I'll wait and let people. We'll preview some of them. But I'll wait and not say anything and spoil some of the things for some of the bodies that I'm thinking about making into when this next wave hits. But so I guess we've ran 1 hour and 24 minutes. Is there anything that you want to push, Bob, or say?
No, just go ahead and get your if you're wanting to get into this line, get your pre-orders in now at Big Bad. There's some stuff coming. Hopefully, like I know at Joe Fest 23, they previewed they had a couple of figures out on display that will be coming up. One was a guy who I call Captain Freaking Awesome, because he was like this mostly black body, but with some like translucent green arms and head. He looked really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
There's like an update of the chimpanzee head that came with like the Space Force stuff that is going to be on the future figure. There's some good stuff coming. This line seems to have, like, if you don't like the whole line, there's probably something in there that will fit in your universe or your headcanon.
Yeah. Hey, all you have to do is just buy one.
Yeah.
Figure and see what you think about it, Yeah. And so,
although in this, the first one isn't free. You still have to buy it.
That's right.
It will probably get you started on a.
That's right.
Cool line of figures to get.
That's right. Well, anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've had fun just because.
Oh yeah, this has been great.
I love talking about Eagle Force, and so
same here.
Anyway, but yeah, we'll try to get together and do this. Maybe and maybe next month we'll talk about the next wave coming out, and then we'll try to do maybe a stream after that, after those figures come out, and we sort of get them in our hands and stuff. And but yeah, I appreciate everybody watching. And anyway, so I will say good night, and
good night all.
We'll see you guys later, okay?
All right. Have a good one, folks.
See ya.